Welcome to Fairview, North Carolina. Fairview is one of the most beautiful, picturesque, and quieter parts of greater Asheville area. It offers a small town feel and really a very quiet living that is not centrally located, but minutes from all things Asheville, from all the amenities that Asheville has to offer. Hi, this is elenakovrigin with ℂ𝕠𝕟𝕟𝕼 Realty, powered by eXp Realty here in Asheville, North Carolina. Welcome back to my channel about all things Asheville. Here you will learn everything about living, breathing, going to school, having babies, parking, grocery stores, different communities, different towns around Asheville. So if you're new here and you want to learn more, click that subscribe button. Our team helped dozens of people relocate to the Asheville area. If you need help relocating or figuring out if this is the right area for you, our contact information is down in the description. Schedule your call, consultation, shoot us a message or email, or start your search on the website. I mentioned Fairview, North Carolina in many different videos before, but I haven't had a dedicated video just about Fairview, and I think it's about time. So in this video, you will learn what it's like to live in Fairview, different amenities that are available in Fairview, real estate in Fairview, communities, what to do, how far it is from other amenities. So by the end of the video, the goal is for you to figure out if Fairview is the right fit for you and your family. So Fairview is located just southeast of downtown Asheville, right in between South and East Asheville. If you come in from downtown or really any other part of town, it is super easy to get to Fairview. You can actually hop on the Parkway like I do a lot of times from South Asheville, go through Parkway instead of going on the road and get to Fairview that way, or from the highway, you just take the exit towards ℍ𝕍𝕗 and Bat Cave, and it's going to take you to Fairview. Wide, 4-lane highway, not congested, takes you to Fairview. It's a pleasant drive, not as congested, not nearly as congested as other parts of town, and it is so nice to drive through Fairview. Fairview really is a quieter side of Blue Ridge Mountains and Blue Ridge Parkway, and historically it's been and still is actually a very strong farming community. In a nutshell, Fairview is surrounded by rolling hills, serene mountaintops, and a pretty strong community of creators, farmers, and growing business people who have collective appreciation of the area's rich land. In terms of lifestyle, Fairview offers mountain living. On one side, you can live in one of those mountain communities that are all over Fairview, especially that the part of Fairview as you start driving through it on Charlotte Highway. If you look left or right, you see houses on top of the mountain, on the side of the mountains. And there's a good number of gated communities in Fairview, including South Cliff community, that offers very private, very quiet living, minutes from downtown Asheville and all those things. I mean, it might take you 5 or 10 minutes to go down that mountain to the bottom of the community, but once you're there, you are super close to Asheville and downtown Asheville and all those things. So you can live in either in one of those communities. Price ranges differ. South Cliff is one of the upscale, top-notch luxury communities that Fairview has to offer. It is a gated community and it is surrounded by Blue Ridge Mountains, very picturesque and beautiful. It has tons and tons of trails within the community. So even though you are super close to Blue Ridge Parkway, you don't even need to go anywhere. You can stay within your community. So you can either hit the trails within the community and really probably not gonna even see anybody, because some of these trails are located up at the almost very top of that new section that they developed a few years ago. Or you can enjoy places like their parks, playgrounds, and covered pavilion. This past year, median sales price in South Cliff was $875,000. The least expensive house that was sold in South Cliff in this past year was $650,000, which is kind of hard to believe for what you get. And the most expensive house that was sold was $1.275 million. Right now, the most expensive home that's available on the market in South Cliff is priced at $2,150,000 and offers over 4,000 square foot of living space. So South Cliff community, which, by the way, not to confuse with the Cliffs, it is completely, well, I shouldn't say that. It is a different community. And honestly, I think you have a better deal unless you really want that club membership that Cliffs have to offer, and South Cliff does not have that. So you can either buy a house in South Cliff and live there, you know, move-in ready and all those good things, or you can buy a piece of land and build your own house. You know, a lot of houses in South Cliff these days are already not old, not outdated, but some of them are getting there. They've been built, you know, years ago. So if you don't like an older house that's not brand new, you can buy a vacant lot. Vacant lots start at $125,000 up to $600,000 as of right now. They just developed that last section, the top of the mountain section in South Cliff. I was there just 2 or 3 years ago filming for some of my clients who were looking at vacant lots, and I went back just recently and there's already houses there. And yes, they are gonna have amazing views. They're gonna be on top of the mountain. It's gonna take them probably, I don't know, 7-8 minutes to go down that mountain all the way to the bottom. But they have privacy, it's very beautiful, it's very quiet. What else do you want? So of course, South Cliff is just one example of probably the most expensive neighborhoods, gated neighborhoods in Fairview. There's a number of other neighborhoods that have views, have steep roads. Listen, if you have to go and get your views, you need to be willing to go up that driveway, up that road, on top of the mountain, which also offers not only views, but you will be, I guarantee you, you will be at a higher elevation, and that will bring you to cooler temperatures, especially during summer, but also during winter, so consider that. And all these communities are all over Fairview. If you look left or right, like I said, as you drive on Charlotte Highway, you see houses on top of the mountains, and those are those communities. Some of them are more affordable than others. All of them will have steep, sloped roads that will take you up to the top of that mountain, but that's just something that you have to consider. And I always tell everyone who's interested in being on top of the mountain, they want views, they want all that. In wintertime, you probably, most likely, going to need all-wheel drive, which is why we have so many Subarus here in this town, because a lot of people live on the side of the mountain. There's just not a whole lot of flat land available, right? But that was a different video. So all-wheel drive, or you might have harder time going up and down that mountain in wintertime. Even when we have no snow, nothing is happening down in Asheville, if you live on top of a mountain in one of those communities, you're gonna have more snow, you're gonna have more freezing surfaces, black ice, and just even some dusting will make conditions of those roads more dangerous. So all-wheel drive, and just be safe. Speaking of real estate, next time I see you, next time we see each other, I will show you a house that is located right here in Fairview that has one of the most massive price reductions recently. It is a very well-maintained home, large, in a very peaceful, quiet neighborhood right here in Fairview. And if you think to yourself, well, I'm not willing or want to live on the side of the mountain. I want some usable yard. I want to grow my tomatoes. I want to have some chickens. Well, you are in the right spot. The second half, or the other portion of Fairview, offers just that. Remember how I mentioned in the beginning of the video that historically Fairview is a big farming community? Well, farmers do not live and work on the side of the mountain. Here in Western North Carolina, if you go past Cane Creek and either Cane Creek Valley or past Cane Creek, you will see the most beautiful, picturesque rolling hills, farms, farmland, all over that part of Fairview, that kind of the back part of Fairview. This is exactly where majority of very well-known local farms are, such as Hickory Nut Gap, that has the best quality, or probably one of the best quality meats in town. You can order all kinds of stuff. Flying Cloud Farm offers a lot of produce as well as flowers. You can go and pick your own flowers. And check this out. Everything is based on honor system. So there's not a person who's gonna check you out when you're done and you're ready to pay. You pay yourself. So that's just one of the things that is so great about living in this area, that things like this are still happening, and local people, that's what they use. A lot of, instead of running to a grocery store, they would run to Flying Cloud Farm and get potatoes or whatever that might be, or kale, or go to Hickory Nut Gap Farm and get some meat. Certainly I do. Every time I go, I get something that I can never find anywhere else. I find it there. In addition to all these famous or locally famous farms that are located in Fairview, there's a big number of private farms, people just doing their own thing, growing their own produce, as well as a lot of horse properties, especially in the Cane Creek Valley part of Fairview. Cane Creek Valley is like a cherry on top of a cake of Fairview. So beautiful. It is a valley, so for the most part it is flat. When you get there, when you make that turn on Cane Creek Road and you keep going, for the most part it is flat. I mean, it's not going to be like Arizona flat, but it certainly is Asheville flat. And you see some mountains on the side, but they're kind of far away. And everywhere you drive, seems like it's a horse property after horse property after horse property. Some people also have, cows and livestock, but there's a ton of horse properties in Cane Creek. It is also not the cheapest area to live in. Even buying land is expensive, and it makes sense. I mean, it's flat, and flat land in this area doesn't come by that often, and when it does, it is at a premium. And there's a lot of beautiful homes in Cane Creek Valley, as well as, of course, a number of smaller homes, more affordable communities. So I don't want to give this impression that there's only like $1 million plus houses all over Fairview. No, there's a ton of more affordable homes, properties in the Fairview area. This is going to be smaller, a little more modest, not as big, and maybe older, but nevertheless, they are available in Fairview as well. Outside of that first part of Fairview, where you have a lot of mountain communities, a lot of the properties in Cane Creek Valley and past Cane Creek, or the back part of Fairview, they are not in communities. Some of them are. There's still some communities, but there's a lot of properties that are not in traditional communities. So you're not going to have your HOA. You're not going to have rules and regulations. A lot of properties are either open use or have very little restrictions. Initially, I wanted to make a video about top communities in Fairview, but most of them outside of South Cliff have a very little turnover. So there's really no point talking about those communities, because there might not be anything available in them in the next year. There was nothing available in them right now, so I didn't want to just talk specifically about any other community. Now, some communities still offer vacant lots, so you can still buy vacant lots and build on them, but in terms of houses, there's not a whole lot that's going. According to our MLS, median sales price in the whole Fairview was this past year $1 million. You're not gonna find most likely anything under $350 that will not be a mobile home. Most houses that are brand new and kind of average priced will be right around 500 price point. And there's actually a couple of those communities that are being built and being sold in Fairview. Also have kind of sort of steep sloped driveways, but nothing too crazy. You're not going to have to drive to the top of the mountain. So that's available. It's not just $1 million houses, but you know, a number of more affordable homes. And if you're thinking, well, gosh, what's in this Fairview? Why is it so expensive? I mean, it does offer that small town feel, small community feel. It does not have any downtown. There's no central part to Fairview, but there's a number of businesses in Fairview that locals frequent, locals love. It's like their local secret. And they support those businesses, whether it's a restaurant, local joint is one of them. I know a lot of locals love that place. One of the first, actually, the very first restaurant that I was in when I came to the United States, my boyfriend took me on a date there, is in Fairview. It's Angela's. It is a pretty famous restaurant in Fairview. Looks like an old cabin, and it's been there, I don't even know, seems like for forever. And again, those farms where you can just go get your produce, get your meat, creamery, just all kinds of stuff. Now, grocery stores in Fairview honestly suck. Ingalls is older. It's not the newest Ingalls. It's been there for forever. It's due for remodel, but you have all your essentials there. You know, if you need to go and get something, you can go to Ingalls and get everything you need. They have, I counted 2 Dollar Generals, that maybe there's more, in Fairview, and a number of places to eat, stop by, you know, grab some food, buy something, everything that you need, you know, last minute will be there. Otherwise, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on where in Fairview you are, you can get to Whole Foods in East Asheville easily. It's an exit away from Fairview exit. You have your Whole Foods, you have your Target, Asheville Mall, Lowe's, Home Depot is right almost like at that same exit. You feel like you're not centrally located and you're kind of removed and you're far away and you're out there, very peaceful, very quiet, unless you are closer to Charlotte Highway and you get that Charlotte Highway noise. But you are super close to everything. I mean, that's what some of my clients who moved to Fairview said about living there.
We're in Fairview, and it's nice. It's like we're living in a forest on the side of a mountain. So we're isolated, it's quiet. You hear the birds when you come out in the morning, not traffic or anything else. And yet it takes 12 minutes to get from our driveway to the middle of downtown. So if you want to go out to eat or something, you know, 12 minutes is no big deal.
It's not centrally located, but because it's so close to the freeways and everything.
As far as schools go, you have Reynolds High School right there. Well, technically, it does not have Fairview address. It has Asheville address, but it's right off of Charlotte Highway, so might as well be in Fairview. It will, I mean, if you live in Fairview and if you have kids, it will make all the sense to send your kids there of high school age. Then there's also Fairview Elementary School, Mighty Oaks Montessori School, which it's basically a preschool and a kindergarten for children ages 3 and 6. And I know people who wanted to be in Fairview or in that vicinity just because of that school. If you have any specific questions about what it's like to live in Fairview, North Carolina, or honestly any other part of Asheville, greater Asheville area, surrounding towns, reach out to me and my team. Our contact information is down in the description. Watch some more videos about what it's like to live in Asheville and the Asheville area right here. And I will see you next time. Bye.